welcome back. You know what time it is? What time is it? It is Real Estate Talk on Tuesday. It's like Taco Tuesday, but instead it's Real Estate Talk on Tuesday. I just made that up. You see that? Real Estate Talk on Tuesday, like Taco Tuesday.
I like it.
It's the Real Estate Talk on Tuesday. Welcome back, everybody. Remember, share the stream. Let everybody know what you're doing. Let everybody know where you are. Let everybody know it's a Real Estate Talk, and we're here to answer questions about real estate. So come on board. Let me know where you are, where you're coming from. We've got the lovely Jill in the house. Say hi, Jill.
Hello.
Everybody says hi to Jill, but never to me.
We could get you some coral.
Some
nice coral colors and bright, make you stand out a little bit more.
Are you trying to dress me now?
Sure.
Is there something wrong with my dress code?
No. Oh, look, Mike's here with us.
So, hey, guys, welcome to your show. My name's Zack Childress. I am your real estate coach. And why is that? Because I come to you every single week with the latest and the greatest information. And I'm actually out there actively investing, which I can't say that for all the people out there, but how many of them will do a live show twice a week, right? Maybe they don't have the answers for your questions. Maybe that's why they don't do it, you know? Wink, wink. I'm not pointing out anybody, but I'm just happy you guys are here. We have a great community here. You guys have been with me for so long, learning and growing, and I can't tell you how proud I am of you, and especially all of you that are in the masterclass and all of you that come here that are in our coaching. You guys are rock stars. And that brings us to the show, right? So this is our Tuesday show. So listen, if you're brand new, I want to meet you. If it's your first time on here, just say hi. Say hi to the community. The community grows and grows every single week and every single month. And we like to know who we're talking to and where you're coming from in the world. And just to be on here and be blessed to be part of your journey in real estate and to be able to, guide you every Tuesday, which is what we do our Real Estate Talk show, and Wednesdays, which is where we dig deeper. So those could be dig deeper into all kinds of things, right? Dig deeper into a book, dig deeper into an expert, dig deeper into a part of your business. So tomorrow is our Dig Deeper show. Same bat channel, same bat time. And we're covering why you need to understand follow-up. We're going to be talking about how more deals are made through the follow-up than they ever are in the original offer or original contact of, a prospect. And so you can see it on the screen there. Real Estate Talk shows on Tuesday at 12:30 Central and Dig Deeper at 12:30 Wednesday Central Time. So so be part of those shows with us. Be part. Remember, you got more than one spot to learn from me. You can check me out on Instagram, Zack_Childress. You get a lot of motivation over there, a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff. I just shoot fun videos, things with, my life. You obviously need to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have a ton of videos over there for training. I also do the in the field stuff, and we post them there where I take you out and look at properties together. And you are already on Facebook, so that's awesome. So I'm happy that you're with us. I'm happy you're joining us. I'm happy you're participating today. So remember, guys, come on board, say hi, tell me what's going on. Let me know you're new. I'd like to welcome you to the community, and I'd like the community to welcome you to the community. So if you're new, let us know that, and then hopefully we can help you with any real estate questions you might have, any journey through real estate that you might have. But before we get started today, you guys need to be aware of our Tampa event. Yes, you need to come out to Tampa June 8th through the 10th. You can do that, and you can either get a general admission ticket, a silver VIP ticket, or a gold VIP. You're welcome to go to the freedomfromflipping.com website or just pick up the phone and call the office. You can talk to a student advisor about which ticket would best fit your needs for your learning capability and how much access you want at the event. So call the office at 707-247-4248. The Tampa event is going to be a game changer. We call this event a Do Deals event. This is something you want to be part of. You definitely want to get registered for it. You want to get your tickets locked in. We typically don't like the rooms to get more than 75 to 100 people. We're almost at that capacity right now. So I encourage you guys to get your tickets in. I only think I have 3 golds left and maybe a handful of silvers. They'll be sold out before we even hit the event. So, but the general admission, that's the green ticket. It's a $97 seat deposit. You get it back. You go all 3 days. Once you're at the event all 3 days. You come back Monday or Tuesday, call the office, let them know you were there, and they will credit back the $97. So really, it's just a seat deposit so that I know you're coming and we save a seat specifically for you. So I hope that you participate in that. Let me know what other real estate questions you got going on today. Who we got with us today, Jill?
We have Manny. He says, hey, Zach and Jill. Mike says, Mike Barber from Cali is here.
Manny, Mike.
Francisca says, hi, Zach.
Hey, Francisca.
Keisha says, hi, Zach and Jill from Tampa, back in the VI. David.
Keisha, you coming to the event? It's in Tampa.
She is actually registered, yep.
Awesome.
David, he says, hey, Zach and Jill, Dave in PA.
Hey, David.
And then Manny says, folks, don't forget to sign up for the 3-day event in Tampa.
Oh, he brings up a good point. And bring the book. Bring your book. Because I will be doing a book signing while I'm there. So you want to get your book. If you haven't got your book yet, shoot over to Amazon. You can pick this up on Amazon right now. Just go to Amazon and search for My First Deal Playbook. I think the book on Amazon's like $6 or something like that. It's not a bank breaker. But that book is powerful. I'm telling you, it's all about My First Deal Playbook, how to get you into the real estate business, what you need to be thinking about, understanding the different positions and what strategies you need to use depending on the market's needs. So Manny brings up a good point. Bring your book with you.
Yes, absolutely. Bill says, hey, Zach. Heath says, hello, Zach.
Bill says, hey, what's happening, Bill? And Heath is in the house. Is Heath new?
Yes.
Heath, are you new, man? I don't remember that name coming up on here before.
Thomas says, howdy, 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 Zach and Jill.
Hey, Thomas.
And Keisha says she's bringing 2 guests.
Awesome, Keisha. Bring the whole team. That's what I say. Get the whole team learning. Listen, it wasn't the last one we did in Colorado. A while back, a couple brought their son, and not only did they come to the 3-day with their son, but they also brought their son to the 2-day immersion.
He was a rock star.
And that guy was like on it, man. He was like, Zach taught me how to run numbers, and Zach taught me what to look for. And how old was he?
11.
11 years old. Look, if we can teach an 11-year-old how to do this, we can teach you how to do this, okay? It was amazing. So
I can't wait to hear about his adulthood when he turns 18.
All right.
He's going to have to set for himself. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, he's got to be careful with who he associates with.
Very much so.
You know, it's funny. We can learn all the things we want about real estate, and then who we associate with will strip it all away from us, right? So
Christine gives the thumbs up.
Hey, Christine.
David says 6:58.
There you go. David done got it. He knows.
Keisha says, I'm excited.
Awesome, Keisha.
Bill says, I'm ready to drink from the fire hose of information that Zach, the fireman, has to offer. I love it.
That's awesome. I love it too. Okay, well, listen. What's our topic today? Our topic is all about mass offers. Now, people always argue with me about this concept of mass offers, and I built a business on this thing, okay? Now, it is not the primary thing that you do all the time, but it is one of the things that we do to help get deals, right? And so we're going to break down the mass offer approach and why you should do it. And we're going to be talking about why you should do it, what type of deals you should set up to be doing mass offers against, how to pick the right markets to do it in, how to get an agent to help you or use a software. We're going to talk about cover letters. We're going to talk about the first approach versus the comeback approach. And then I'll tell you why I built a technology to do all that for me. But I open it up to you guys. If you have any questions with real estate out the gate, I'm happy to answer all of those before we dig in, because once we start going, you know how it gets. I get going, man. I get going.
And he's had his coffee today.
I am drinking coffee today. for the price of a Whopper, but the book is much healthier. That is so funny, Manny. I like that.
He's so awesome.
Does a Whopper cost $6?
Meal, maybe.
I don't know. We got Kevin on here. Kevin and Sarah. Look at
Sarah's
that.
birthday today.
Sarah, oh Sarah, there's nothing like the birthday for you. Happy birthday, Sarah.
That was nice. Shelly is in the house.
Shelly from Salinas. Laugh out loud, Manny. Man, you guys are active today. I love it. I could just sit here and chat with you all day. But I know some of you are busy, and we got things to cover. So let's talk about digging into a mass offer approach into a market and why that has got benefits to it and why you should be thinking about it, okay? So here's what you need to understand. Why do we do it? We do it for deals. We do it for deal flow. Because let me explain something to you. You got to have multiple deal streams, okay? We talked about this in the masterclass last night. You got to have multiple deal streams. You got to have, MLS deals. You got to have wholesale deals coming in from wholesalers. You got to have direct mail coming in. You got to have online stuff. But when we slow down and we start to look at this like a spider web, so this is you in the middle. You've got MLS, you got wholesalers, you got online, you got direct mail. Well, then each one of those opens up to different things too. For instance, my wholesaler lead flow may open up to where I have 6 different wholesalers bringing me deals, right? My online lead flow may open up to where I have like online leads coming from Craigslist, online leads coming from classifieds, Oodle, online leads coming from, for sale by owner sites. So you understand, like it opens up. My direct mail, that's a whole nother class. I could teach for days on direct mail by itself. But then when you look at MLS, you have to click on it too and open it up because, there's normal day-to-day activity, which we set up an MLS system to automate lead flow into us. That's one form, and then obviously making offers on property. But on the other side, there's what we just call a mass offer approach, right? And that's why we do the mass offer approach. It's to give us an extra stream of deal flow coming through. Because so many of you, when you're doing onesies and twosies, you're just not making enough offers. And I'll tell you this, I learned this a long time ago when I first started in this business. Going on 17 years now. That's been a long time.
That's awesome.
I've been doing this a long time. Yeah. So almost 17. Let's see, it's 2008. I'm 42. I started at 25.
You're not 42.
I'm 41. I started at 25. So 16 plus years. So I'm going on. Whoa, I had to backtrack that for a minute. 42. Where'd I get that at? Seems like 41 passed me right by. The good news is I've been doing it over 16 years, which means what? I'm not some fly-by-night guy that read a book, did a deal, and wanted to shoot a bunch of videos on it. I've been doing this for a long time, and I've been teaching people how to do this for over a decade. Yes, a decade. And I've taught people from East Coast to West Coast to Canada to Australia to Czechoslovakia to Africa. We went global, man. We went global. And sometimes I need to slow down and appreciate that, right? So
it's big.
So that's part of that journey, right, is just understanding where we've come from. But I learned this a long time ago that I had to get consistent on my offers. I had to get more consistent on my offers because here's what I know. The more offers, and write this down for me, guys. Put this on a piece of paper somewhere. Write this down, okay? More offers equals more deals, which equals more money. More offers equals more deals equals more money. I've been saying that phrase now for over 10 years. And I say it because it's the truth, okay? And there's a big difference between lead flow and deal flow. Let me be very clear on that. So, for example, lead flow comes from direct mail, comes from online, comes offline, comes from all different forms. Those are lead flow. Deal flow meaning something that's actually under contract. So let's understand the difference in that. A lead is just a prospect. It's just somebody we're talking to. A deal is when someone's actually signed our contract, or we have a contract signed. That means that's the difference. A lead has to be turned into a deal by understanding how the communication, the research, and the negotiation phases, those three phases work, take you from a lead to a deal, okay? So where do we get deals from? Well, really, deals come from our MLS lead system and our wholesale lead system, right? Because the wholesalers bring us deals that have already signed contracts. MLS, we get deals from it because we're not in the communication, research, and negotiate stage because it's just on the MLS. We make an offer, they accept it. That's a deal flow. Well, to speed up that deal flow on the MLS, you speed up your offers. You just speed up your offers. You just make more offers. And some of you get nervous about making offers. And what's that say? Heath, yep, very new. Oh, hey, guys, everybody, just welcome Heath to our real estate talk show. He's new on here. Everybody give him some love. Tell him he's in the right place. Say hi to him. Let him know he's with a good family. I appreciate you guys for welcoming the new people. You get to know people like Manny and Phil and David and Kevin and Sarah, and man, these guys have been here going with us for a while. Bill and Christina, I can name a name. So we understood that was the approach. It was, if I want more deals, then I need to use the MLS in that way. I need to use the MLS in a way as if it was a pond full of fish, and instead of sticking one rod in there and catching one fish at a time, I needed to figure out how to put 100 fish poles in that pond and catch as many fish as I could. We call it the low-lying fruit, okay? But on the other side, some of you are extremely nervous about making offers, and I completely understand this, okay? Like, I completely understand. Making offers can be scary. It can be a little nerve-wracking. It can be, the number one thing I always find from students, whenever I talk to a student and I say, look, how many offers are you making? And they're like, well, I haven't really made one yet. I ask them why, and they always say the same answer. Well, I'm afraid they're going to accept it. I wish I had a hold on, let me get one of my buttons.
Kevin said, hi Heath, patience and persistence and Zack mania equals cash.
Tell him, Kevin. Kevin knows. He's making money now. He's working with us. So he's got another deal hot to trot right now. But when they say that, they say, well, I'm afraid they're going to make offers. This is what I do internally, okay?
I nearly peed my pants. That was so funny.
Because I know if they will get over that fear, they'll hear this.
Yes.
That's what I know, okay? I know that without a shadow of a doubt. But people are afraid. They are. I get it. And so when I say to you, we need to have a mass offer approach, man, you guys probably go, you probably like crawl into a hole. But here's the thing, guys. Don't be afraid of a contract. A contract is only binding if the contingencies are met. Do you understand? Like, it's only binding if the contingencies are met. Right? That's why we have contingency clauses. And that's what you have to understand about contracts, okay? They're not as scary as you think they are. You just need to learn how to use them. You need to learn what to put in them. You need to learn what to say and what not to say and how to have the right contingencies. So then when you make offers, you have contingency clauses that allow you to get out of the deal if you need to. But for my new people that are afraid to even do that, that's why we always teach use a LOI, use a letter of intent. Here's why. Yes, a purchase contract is binding if what, Jill?
The contract is binding, but you have to have a payment.
Well, I didn't say what makes it binding.
Oh, sorry.
It only continues its binding if all
contingencies are met.
Get them, Jill. That's right. It only stays binding if all contingencies are met. Okay. So yeah, is it binding, as Jill says, once two parties have signed and monetary has been exchanged to secure the agreement and terms and everything's been written out? Absolutely, it's binding. But the little contingency section in there is like the loophole, right? It's the I'm out, right? And that's what you need to understand. That's what determines whether it continues to stay binding inside the contingency period. So that's why people are nervous about offering you too long of a contingency period, because they want it short. They want you to figure out if you're going to stay in or out quickly so that they can go back to the contract being binding so that you go to close and you buy the property from them. But listen, that's why you use our contracts. Our contracts allow you to have a contingency period up to 30 days with an extension for another 14 business days.
I love contingency periods.
Yeah, it keeps you safe. So don't be worried about contracts as much as you need to understand how to use the contract. But if you're still nervous, use the LOI. I still use an LOI till this day. I use an LOI on mass offer approaches only because it's easy. It's a one-page agreement. And you should too when you deal with a mass offer approach, okay? So let's talk about this. We use the mass offer approach to get the low-lying fruit out of the market. Now, what is mass offers? Well, guys, I can send out over 3,000 offers in less than 3 minutes. Wow. I know some of you right now are probably falling off your couch. But you got to understand, I can't do that myself, right? I have to use technology to do that. But imagine for a moment with me. Just imagine for a moment with me. Just imagine. Do you think you'd get 1 or 2 or 3 deals out of 3,000 offers?
I hope so.
We're not in the hope business.
Nope.
We're in the do business. And the reality is yes, you will if you're making those offers to the right types of prospects, right? So here, write this down. So when you're making mass offers, you want to pull the properties that are on the MLS. And you want to pull every property that's on the MLS within 90 days. Or that's been on there for 90 days. You also want to pull every property that's on the MLS that's been on there longer than 180 days. Those two numbers are the numbers you go for. So you now obviously you got to get an agent to help you with this. You got to find an agent that's going to be on board with you. You got to find an agent that's going to want to entertain this idea. Typically, the older seasoned agents don't want to do it because they're afraid it's going to ruin their reputation. That is something that, you know, an agent like that probably isn't investor friendly anyways, because they probably cater to more of the retail first time home buyer type situation. We're looking for investor friendly agents, investor agents that understand that this business is a numbers game. And the more offers you make, the more you make as an investor and the more they make in commissions. So that's the targeted agent we're looking for. So let's say we go and we say, okay, these are the areas that I want to invest in, which is called market segmentation. Which we teach at the 3-day event. We go market segmentation, we break it down, we identify where we want to be, and then we go to our agent and we say, look, pull me every single property in this market that's been on the market for 90 days or longer. Also pull me every single property that's been on the market for 180 days or longer in these areas. So now I've got the 90 to 180 and I got the 180 and higher. Now, why would I pull two separate lists instead of just saying everybody that's been on 90 days or longer? Because I'm going to set up two campaigns. Here's how it's going to work. I'm going to set up an offer campaign for the 90s and I'm going to set up an offer campaign for the 180s and higher. And what do you think the 180s and higher, am I going to make the same offer at the same discount to them? No, I'm not. I may offer on the 90s and higher, I may offer them, I don't know, 65% of ARV, or in some cases I may offer them 75% of the listed price, okay? Where on the 180 and higher, I'm going to offer them, let's say I offer 75% of the listed price on the 90s, and on the 180s, I'm going to offer them 65% of the listed price. Yeah, here's why. Are some people going to refuse my offer? Of course. But let me tell you something. The ones that have to sell right now and they know they have the room to sell it, or those are the ones that are going to counter us, okay? That's the purpose of the mass offer system. We're going to get some out of it, but it's not always about how many we get out of it, how many actual deals. It's about the engagement. Listen to me when I say this, okay? It's the engagement. I'm just as happy when I do a mass offer approach to the 90s and higher at 65% of the list price, and they counter me at, let's say, 90% of the list price. I'm just as happy because now why? I skipped all that other marketing. I skipped all the communication phases. I skipped the research phase. I skipped all that. Now I'm right down to negotiations. Now we're back and forth with contracts. Let's just use 100,000 as an example. I offered them 65,000. They countered me at 90. I counter back at 70. They counter me back at 85. I make sure my numbers are good. I'll pay you 75, and that's my final offer. Boom. The point is I'm snatching low-lying fruit based on agitation. I know that it's been on the market for a while. So you got to think about that. And so what do you got to do? You got to line up an agent. You got to line up an agent, somebody that's willing to do all that. And that could be a little bit of a challenge, couldn't it? Because when you start thinking about agents and what they've got to do to make an offer, let's say you pull 90s and you pull 180s, and let's say it's 400 properties. Do you know what an agent's got to do to write 400 offers? Especially for you guys in California. I mean, geez, your contract out there is like 14 pages long. That's a lot of work. But hey, if an agent gets it, you do it. I mean, that's how I started. I started that way. I started getting an agent to send all my offers out. But then, obviously, I got smart and I started using technology because there is software that'll do these offers for you. We have a software. I mean, it's one of my flagship products here. So, at any time, you can always call a student advisor. That number is 707-247-4247 or 4248 if you haven't written it down. 707-247-4248. You can always get on the phone with one of them and say, hey, look, Zach was talking about this mass offer system. Can you tell me about it? They'll be happy to talk to you about it. So, hey, I got lots more to cover with you guys. Lots more to cover. But let's go and answer some questions that have been coming in.
Okay, so Haskin says, how do you find something to get in to start an investment going to keep investing with ideas to grow?
Whoa, what?
I'm not really sure. I'm trying
Say
to translate.
It again. Read it again for me.
How do you find something to get in to start a invest going to keep investing with ideas to grow? Hashtag artwork. I need my NDA agreement ASAP. Just need a way to cash in. I'm not really sure. I'm sorry, Haskin, if you can
NDA is a non-disclosure agreement. Let me try to figure this out. How do you find something to get in to start a investing? How do you find something to get into?
Maybe to get started in investing and keep growing?
Going to keep investing with ideas to grow. Yeah, man. Hey, how about this? Let's try bullet pointing that out. Let's actually write a real sentence here. So. I have no idea what that thing says, man. That sounds like somebody in my... anyways, I'm not going to say that. What else we got?
All right. So Michelle says, hi, Heath. Zach is the one to work with for you to make money.
Awesome, Michelle.
She also says people are afraid of change, which is very true.
It is true. People are afraid of a few things. Here's the beauty. They could be looking across the river and see this great life, just beautiful landscaping, a nice home, but they don't know how to swim. So they look at this river and they think to themselves, oh man, I'm so scared. But now there's a boat that will take you across the river, right? But you got to learn how to do what? You got to learn how to use the boat, right? There's a rope that goes across and you could grab the rope and you could swing across and hope that you land. And then there's somebody over there that's going to teach you how to swim. That's going to work with you and say, here's how we get through a river. Here's how you swim in the river. Here's how you start in the current. Here's how you put your feet first. Here's how you wade to the other side. And here's how you get off the stream and then you work your way back over. People will look at that and then they're afraid. They're afraid of not the destination. They're afraid of the journey it takes to get to that destination because it's the unknown. They haven't learned it yet. They haven't figured out the skill sets. And here's the reality. There's 3 different ways to get across the river. You just got to pick one. You got to pick one, and you got to pick one that's going to get you there, that's going to give you the most success over time, right? And in life, we're always faced with multiple ways to get to the other side. And the other side in our world is what? Financial freedom, right? Yeah, you could go join Amway. You could sell products online. You could do the Amazon dropship business. There's all kinds of things. But real estate is the way to go. Real estate is like combining how to swim and the boat all together. So if I'm going to do the boat, I'm going to want to learn how to swim too. So I might as well learn both of them, because what if the boat tips over? I need to learn how to swim, right? Why am I going to take the rope? I don't want to hope. I want to execute a plan that can be taught to me that will get me across, where I have 2 options. If the boat sinks, I can still swim. So the fear is overcome in any journey we take when we slow down enough and embrace the idea that we need education, that we need to learn the process to get to the other side of the river. Until then, it will always be fearful.
So Manny says, if you find a friendly agent, tell them to put you under their license as an assistant for a few dollars.
Yeah, you can. It's a lot easier said than done, but it absolutely can be done. They can add you as an assistant, and then you can have access and you can do things. But you better make sure you find a friendly young agent new to the business. They're more in line to do that, especially if you're helping pay some of their desk fees or their license fees. They'll be more in line to do that.
Michelle says, sorry on that. Odds are in your favor. I was referring to offers coming in from 3,000. I'm learning to read today. Bill, he says, when considering agent commissions, how do we compensate them when structuring a creatively financed deal, i.e. taking over seller debt?
Yeah, great question, Bill. So that's one of the big reasons why agents don't like to do seller financing deals or even lease option deals, because why? If it doesn't close, then they don't get paid commission. So the way I've always done it in the past is I always say, look, what would you have made on this deal? This is where, when you're doing like a lease option or a creative finance structure with an agent, it's really not like getting a free house, because you got to put money out, right? Because the agent has to be compensated unless you can negotiate them on the back end. And I'll explain both of those, which is like when I'm making an offer for a seller financing term, I'm always going to ask, well, what were the fees involved? Like, what were you going to make? Well, it's a $80,000 house. I was going to make 3% on that. Okay, well, now I know what. $2,400 is what he would have made. So I have to look at that and say, if I want him to go to bat for me with this offer, to still explain it correctly to where they're not worrying about not getting paid, I've got to be in a position to pay him the $2,400. So if I'm looking at that deal to structure it, like let's say a sandwich lease option, where I'm going to control that property, then I'm going to turn around and rent it out to a tenant buyer. Well, I may already have that tenant buyer in place, right? I may already have them. Well, I know $2,400's got to come out of my pocket to the agent. Let's say I don't have to pay anything else. It's just taking over the payments. I got to pay the agent. Well, I got to make sure my option consideration fee, my OCF, is got to be greater than $2,400 with my tenant buyer, okay? Because I need to get that money back. So I may put $7,500 on that OCF. And so the tenant buyer pays me $7,500. Now I've got my $2,500 back that I put out for the agent, plus I got $5,000 for the option consideration fee to put into a savings account or something to have it there for security on that property. So you got to make sure they're compensated, unless you can go to that agent and say, look, I already have tenant buyers ready to do this property. And my tenant buyers, here's where they are. They're qualified. They have money to put down. I'll give you a third of whatever they pay me. So if I'm getting $5,000, I'm going to give them $1,500 of that transaction. So I've negotiated them both ways, but it just depends on the agent, Bill.
That was a great answer.
Thank you, Jill.
It was very informative. Thank you.
Anything else coming through?
No.
Okay.
Carly did say about the Haskins. She said they just want to make some dang money.
That's probably true. Just stay with us, man. Stay with us. Stay with us. Call one of the people. Call one of the student advisors. Let them help you out. Talk to you about what we can do to get you to the level that you want to be at. So everybody's different, right? Okay, let's dig back in. So one of the things when you're doing a mass offer approach, you've got to be able to justify your offer. Now, what does that mean? If I'm just throwing offers out there, then it's just an offer. But if I throw an offer out there with a cover letter, now I'm in a position to where I'm not just making offers on properties, but I'm actually explaining my offer through the cover letter. And it changes the game of mass offer approach, because now every offer that goes out with a cover letter on it. And the cover letter just says, dear homeowner, I hope that you review my offer today. My offer was based on, the market in itself and what I need to do with the property, and whether I'm going to rent it out or I'm going to have to come in and fix it up and resell it. Probably some of the things that you don't want to do, I'm going to be willing to do that, but that's going to require me to spend money on top of what I'm paying you. So I hope that you take a long, hard look at my offer and let me know. If you want to counter, I'm open to suggestions. Thanks, and look forward to talking to you soon. So now not only have I just sent an offer, I've sent a cover letter on that offer that opens up a door of communication with that seller or even that agent, so the agent can then explain to the seller, well, look, they sent this cover letter in explaining their offer. Would you like me to read it to you? Yeah, sure, great. Or just send it to me. Okay, here you go. And that's something else. So yeah, I know what you're thinking. Man, I got to get these offers set up. I got to write these cover letters. Yeah, guys. Yeah. If you want to do it the solopreneur way, you got to do the work. You got to grind it out, guys. Now, is there technology out there? Absolutely. Is there systems that we can put? Of course. Yeah, absolutely there is. But, sometimes if you want technology, you got to pay for technology. People don't build technology to give it away for free. So if you don't have the ability to buy technology, then yeah, you're going to have to do this. I say this all the time. Look, we're not in the hope business. We're in the do business. That means we got to do every day to get this business going. And listen, is it going to be one of the hardest things you ever do in the beginning? Yes. But is it going to be one of the most rewarding things you ever do? Yes. Absolutely. A lot of the stuff that you have to do in the beginning, you don't typically have to do it over and over again, because here's why. The hustle is right in the beginning, because you've got to create income. You've got to create profits quick and early. And to either pay yourself back from anything you invested in your education and yourself, and two, to put some money to the side to start hiring some help, to start hiring an assistant, and then they start doing all that stuff that you were doing. It's a build process. You got to get out the gate, and you got to shoot and fire and then aim in some cases, right? It's like being in the dark and you got a wolf running at you. You just fire it. Pow, 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 right? That was my life when I got started. But, that's typically what a new investor does. It doesn't have the resources to go out and get help or get a coach or get technology or get software in their business. They've got to be all that. Listen, when I first started, I didn't have all that. I was the guy sitting there late at night writing all these cover letters. I was the one that was getting with my agent to put all these offers together. I was the one that was taking them back to my office, yes, back when we used fax machines, and standing in front of a fax machine and sending offers out. I was that guy. I was also the guy that went out and looked at all the properties and negotiated all the deals and made all the phone calls and set up all the marketing and dealt. That was me. I was a solopreneur. Listen, I was such a dedicated solopreneur that even when I was out pumping gas, I would tape my We Buy House flyer sign to the gas pump. Like, I carried a stack of flyers with me everywhere and tape. I didn't care where I was at. If I was going into the bathroom, I'd take one with me. I'd tape it to the wall. If I was pumping gas, I'd tape it to the pump. It didn't matter where I was. If I parked in a Home Depot parking lot, before I go into Home Depot, I'd go around the parking lot and stick my flyers in all the car windows. I was dedicated. Most people won't do that. But that's why I had the success I had so quick and so fast. Every day. You understand? Every day I was doing something for my business. Something every day. You know, we get the people who come in and they get excited and they want to get going and they do something for a couple of weeks and they don't do anything for a couple of weeks. And then they wonder why they got to build it and start back over again. Because you lost consistency in your approach. You got to do it every day. And look, every day is not that hard to do something. Whether it's 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there. Look, I would go and to get lunch, I would always go somewhere different to get lunch, typically somewhere there where there was a shopping center. And I would go to the shopping center, I'd park my car before I'd go get lunch, and I would walk around that shopping center door to door to door with a stack of flyers and tape. And I would ask these shop owners, hey, do you mind if I put a flyer in your window for people who need to sell their houses, maybe, you know, and they need somebody to buy it quickly? Oh, no, not at all. Tape it up there. You buy houses? Yes, ma'am, I sure do. Oh, well, what's your phone number? It's right here. I go to the next one, and I always use the first one. I would say, hey, look, your neighbor let me put this in their window, and they told me I should come talk to you. Do you mind if I hang my flyer in your window? Guys, I was relentless. Do you understand? Like, I was relentless. I was going to do whatever I had to do to make this business work. So, yes, I wrote all those cover letters in the beginning. But you don't have to. I mean, you can always get technology to do it. But, I mean, if you don't have the ability to do that, then, yeah, these are things you need to do. And remember, we're only talking about one aspect of your lead sources right now, which is the MLS, right? But you got to make sure that that you put cover letter. You putting a cover letter on there will separate you from everybody else. The other side of that is putting a cover letter on it, and when you sign your name, write a PS. This is how you make bird dogs out of this. Or also, as we call them in the office, property locators. P.S. You may not be able to take my offer as is, but I'm a local house buyer. You should be putting this on everything. P.S. You may not be able to take my offer as is, but I'm a local house buyer. So if you know anybody that needs to sell their property quickly for cash, please let me know. Think about this. If I'm sending out hundreds of offers a month, how many times has somebody read my PS line? How many times has somebody read my PS line and said, oh, I remember this guy. I'm talking to somebody. They need to close quickly. So I'm doing several folds. One, I'm finding deals. Two, I'm getting deals to negotiate with me. And three, I'm finding people to build a referral-based business with me. All because of the cover letter on the offer. But some people won't do it because they say, what, Jill? It's too much
trouble.
Trouble, right. It's too much trouble. It's too much work. Well, that's why you're in the position you're in now. Let's just call it what it is, right?
Trouble.
I mean, you're in the position you're in now because somewhere years ago you thought everything else was too much trouble, and now you've had the eye opener that either you're stuck in a job for 20, 30 years that you probably hate. You're not living your passion, and you have no idea of retirement's coming, and can you even survive on retirement, right? Like, that's a big issue. And so now you're thinking, oh, I better get busy. Or you're the type of person that just came out the gate, right? You went to college, you did all those things like you were supposed to do. You got this pretty sheet of paper that cost you $80,000 that you stick on the wall, and you're either still trying to find a job or you found one, and you're realizing real quick that it is a long road in that company in hopes that they're going to keep you that long for retirement. And so now you've woken up and said, I better take control over my life. And that control is obviously real estate. And so, that's where you get to be creative and you get to have the adventures. But let me tell you something, guys. It ain't going to happen if you don't make offers. And the more you make, the more deals you're going to get, which means the more money you're going to get, okay? But let me just help you understand this. That mass offer approach is only what we call the first approach, okay? Because, if I go into a market and I make 500 offers, well, I don't leave that market because here's why. Let's say I make 500 offers and I end up getting 5 deals out of that. Great. Made 50 grand to 100 grand off those deals. Boom. Shakalaka, right? But that means there's 4 495 more over there that I have the potential to go back after. So I do the shotgun approach to get the low-lying fruit, and then I go back over there and I start the long process, right? Let's talk to them. Let's get on the phone with, and then you might pick up another 3 or 4 or 5, right? But the point is, especially if you're brand new, why not make a shotgun approach? Why not find as many deals as you can as fast as possible? Why not do that and make $20, $30, $40, $50,000? Now you've just padded your business to where now you have tons of future growth. You've got money for marketing. You got money for an assistant. You got money for yourself. You got money. So that's why we call the mass offer the first approach. It's not the end of all. It's just one approach into the market. Then we come back and start our other approaches. Getting with the agent, going to looking at the house. Maybe you can make more higher offer on it, running the communication phase, running the research phase, then start the negotiation phase or the counter phases, and then building that process up. So it's just the first approach, okay? So what we got?
Mike Barber says, is there a cover letter script I can use?
We have cover letter. We have tons of cover letters. They're all, they're in our software, the Automated Deal Maker.
Then Bill says, thanks. So if we're wholesaling a deal found by an agent, are we responsible for the agent commission out of our assignment fee, or do they wait until the deal closes with the
No, you're not responsible. In most cases, in most markets, the seller is responsible for real estate commissions. The seller. I have 16 years I've been doing this. There was only one time that I got pushed commissions that I shouldn't have been pushed, and I ended up killing the deal because of it. It was the weirdest thing. Like, the agent came to me and said, well, because your offer is where it is, my client would just rather you pay my commissions. I was like, that was kind of how I felt when I got that phone call. I was like, what? What are you talking about? Like, I'm not paying your commissions. So no, we do not pay their commissions, especially as wholesalers. We don't pay commissions at all, because the transaction hasn't closed, right? And it's usually the seller that pays them. But now, on some cases, if we're doing a wholesale deal with a agent or a REO, we have to use what's called transactional funding. And in a transactional funding, which is an A to B, B to C transaction, we actually will close with that seller as what we refer to ourselves as a wholesaler, right? We will close. And in that close, I'm still not going to pay the real estate commissions. I'm not. It's the seller. Now, they will negotiate with me on closing fees. You follow me? And sometimes those get split, or I might have to, take on some of them. I'm going to try to push those to the seller too, though, to be honest with you. So
Always.
Yeah, always.
Yep. Michelle says, Rhino, head down and charge.
That's right. The Rhino over here. We got the Rhino over here. The old Rhino. If my son could get access to this thing.
You've got 2.
I got 3. Oh, I got an elephant back there. Yeah, that's the one that shows up on the master classes. Every time I start the master classes, these guys go, where's the Rhino? Where's the Rhino? It has become the mascot.
Caroline says, hi, Zach.
Hey, Caroline. Glad you're on the show with us today. So, any other real estate questions coming through for these guys?
We have Angel. He's following. He's messaging me privately and giving a thumbs up. And
Heath, you got any? I want to help you too. You're new, man. What do you got for me? Come on, Heath. Talk to me, buddy. What you got for me, Heath? All right. Well, listen. So like I said, the mass offer approach is all about that's the first approach into the market, right? And then from there, we come back and we follow up in the market. But guys, understand, there is a faster way to do this. Years ago, I created a technology called the Automated Deal Maker, and that's exactly what it is. You load all your properties, you export them out from the MLS, you put them all in there. You don't even have to put MLS properties in there. You can put any properties in there. You set up an offer campaign. You tell it when to send the offer out. You tell it how much to make the offer out on a percentage of the ARV or list price. You pick the contract you want, whether it's an LOI or a contract. You pick the cover letter, whether you're trying to get a lease option or just a rental property or just a flip or a commercial or an REO. You pick it all, and then you set it up, and you in the system literally even follows up on that offer for you. So I can tell the system, hey, look, when you make these offers, I want you to follow up on that offer every 14 to 21 days, and I want you to do that for 3 more times. So literally it'll make the offer, and then every 14 to 21 days, it'll send the offer out again. 14 to 21 days, it'll send the offer out again. And I can even adjust it. I can say every new offer that goes out, raise it by 1 or 2%. So the offer is a little bit different every time it goes out. That is a magical tool if you want to jump into the market and get the low-lying fruit out, okay? Now, why did that happen? Because you remember the story I shared. I did it because I knew more offers equaled more deals, which made me more money. And I ended up hiring eventually 2 girls, 2 ladies, I'll call them, in my office. And here's the funny part, guys, if you're listening to me right now. I paid them to come in my office Monday through Friday and stand in front of a fax machine and send offers out all day long. That was their whole job. Stand in front of a fax machine and make as many offers as they possibly could. They'd write the offer, write the cover letter, and fax it. Write the offer, write the cover letter, and fax it. And then that was when my system mind came into place. And I was like, man, I could get technology to do this. And I was paying $70,000 a year, for those 2 girls. Now, this was in California, right? It was a high-paid faxing job machine, right? So that's why we ended up creating the technology just to do it for us. So I don't even have to worry about it. While I sleep, it's making offers for me. When I'm awake, it's making offers for me. While I'm at the kids' school, it's making offers for me. It's an offer machine. That's known as the automated deal maker. Now, if that's something that you're interested in, by all regards, pick up the phone and call the office, 707-247-4248, and just talk to somebody and tell them to say, hey, explain this thing to me a little bit better. What does it do? How does it work? What all is entailed. It's got all the cover letters. It's got contracts in there. It's got follow-up features. You name it, it's built and designed to do that. So,
Angel says you froze, but I think it might be his internet connection because you're good for me.
I'm rocking and rolling over here. So anyways, guys, listen, I also want to remind you about the event one more time. Let's talk about the event. Tampa, Florida. Get your tickets, guys. Tampa, Florida, June 8th through the 10th. You don't want to miss this. freedomfromflipping.com, or simply pick up the phone and call the office and see how many gold VIPs, silvers, and general admission green tickets we have. The good with the gold VIPs is you actually get a coaching call with me. You get recordings from the event. You get front row seating. You get dinner with me 2 nights. It's the way to go, guys. Anybody who's ever went gold will tell you go gold. They'll go gold again. I know people who have gone to my event gold, came back to my event gold because of the intimacy of the dinners and the call with me after the event for coaching. And, so I would call the office. We don't have a whole lot of those left. Like I said, I think we might have 3. But call the office, 707-247-4248. Talk to one of my student advisors about that and ask them what's available, how many is available, and how can you get to my next event. So, guys, this is Zack Childress in your real estate investing talk show, your Tuesday talk. And I'll see you tomorrow, all about follow-up game. Get your follow-up game on. We're going to dig deeper into that. Zack Childress, I'm out. Bye.